All right, kids, today we're going to talk about when you find out that your favorite content creator is MAGA. And this should include artists and entertainers too, because they're YouTubers, TikTokers, grammars. Nah, that sounds like a active and fit grandma instead of a person who posts on Instagram a lot. This is being recorded just a few days after Afroman won his lawsuit against law enforcement over mocking their 2022 raid of his house in his music videos. And seeing how Joseph Afroman Foreman is a rapper, singer, musician, to recap, I'm going to need to play his music he used to expose the sheriffs that he posted on social media. However, I left a note for myself here to do it like it's a greatest hits / ultimate love song collection infomercial that I saw when I was a little boy. I've been looking for an excuse to pull this off. Only this reminder in the script that I wrote says, use your white guy voice. And two things. One, it takes me back to when I was in college and I was practicing my white guy voice for such an occasion. And somebody said, well, use your speaking voice. You could just talk normal. Two, I bet not get limited ads or have this video copywritten based on what should be a victory for all content creators who make fun of public figures. Anyways.
Randy Walters is the son of a bitch.
Imagine owning the most petty music you've ever heard.
Yeah, that's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich. She my victim Lisa.
By the most consequential free speech advocate of our time, apparently.
I'ma film a video from the video.
Afroman presents Lemon Pound Cake.
It tastes so nice.
14 catchy songs.
Why you disconnecting my video camera? Why you disconnecting my video camera?
From a that got rich and famous for rapping about smoking weed. Hold up. Afroman talks about the First Amendment a lot, but does he use his free speech to speak up for the historically marginalized or just for himself? And all this took place in Adams County, Ohio. It's really rural. Of the nearly 27,000 people who live there, over 95% of them are white and 0.3% of them are black. Is he the type of dude who wears flip-flops all year long, no matter what, like the Energizer Bunny? Is he wearing that American flag suit unironically? Wait. Is he? No.
How good for him that his career can be revitalized.
It has come to my attention that Afroman was begging to sing at the Trump rallies. He was begging to sing because I got high at the Trump rallies. The man is MAGA, hardcore. I should have known to never put anything past a man. This is what I get for speaking out the one time I speak out.
That creator stitched herself in order to shut down her own celebration for and about Afroman because she believes that he is MAGA. And this is what we will focus on. It's been all over the internet. Now, what she was referring to is Afroman's parody of Because I Got High, his own song with Hunter Got High, talking about former President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, who infamously, allegedly, had substance misuse issues. So after making his music video, which went viral, Afroman told Newsweek, I might really be back. This one might take me to the stratosphere. I might be singing it at Trump rallies. So there's that. Then this picture of him shaking hands with 47 that he posted on Instagram saying, Donald Trump likes my new song Hunter Got High and my Lemon Pound Cake album. We laughed about us both getting raided. We got a lot in common. What? It can't be. Wait, I thought...
Once a month, without fail, I'll see a creator talk about how so-and-so is MAGA, and I don't know who these people are, and so I'll go and look up this influencer, and then their profile or their content is always something like, get ready with me to make dinner for my husband while homeschooling my 8 children.
Well, if you two thought that figuring out whether or not your favorite content creator is MAGA was that easy, then I can't blame you. Some will bang Trump's drum all day. Others, as you're about to see, will keep going and going and going while merely leaving clues that lead back to them. Sure, like a certain bunny's pink pube hair. It's a complex issue, yet it's important that we get into this because, as a comment under a TikTok talking about this same topic said, our views are their income. We want to choose when we distribute those views wisely. And I will continue to maintain that you could be more than an athlete, more than an actor, more than an artist. But Drake and his paradox. The Drake paradox is a rapper who doesn't speak up on black issues because he is a rapper, but should speak up on black issues because he is a rapper. And also, he bet not. But he's not even gonna try? Good. His corny ass would mess it up. Still though, who knows? This past week, Afroman could have put himself in a position to start a podcast where he platforms politicians that he will inevitably vote for, but then pretend like their problems isn't something he picked or played a part in. It's worked previously.
Everyone's saying, hey, look what your boy did, look what you voted for. I voted for none of this. No, chat, I didn't vote for any of this. Who'd have thought that the president could just lie? Mr. Jet, all you guys saying that I wanted this, I wanted none of this. All you guys saying I wanted this in the chat right now, I wanted none of this. Nah, man, now we're going to war with Iran? Nah, man, I didn't vote for none of this.
So, if you're wondering if Afroman is MAGA, then you should know that he ran for president as an independent against Donald Trump. He made his intentions to run for office known in December of 2022 during a concert in Missouri before going into his song, I Live in a Van.
Can I make the biggest announcement I ever made in my life? I'm running for president for 2024, man. We're gonna get legal weed everywhere, man. My name is Afroman. I live.
He then posted the clip that I just showed on Old, Active, and Hot Grams with this caption: I'm running for president of the United States of America. Vote for Joseph Afroman Foreman. Recreational cannabis in all 50 states. Mandatory body cameras on all police officers or no paycheck. His campaign manager called him our cannabis commander-in-chief. He wanted to decriminalize marijuana federally, plus marijuana banking reform by Andy Barr, ending police immunity, making them obey the laws they enforce. And that police raid wasn't the only run-ins that Afroman has had with the law.
I want to apologize for my actions. I'm enrolling in some anxiety foundation right now. I'm trying to get it done.
When you see that video, what do you think about the way you reacted?
It was wrong.
In 2014, Afroman punched a woman on stage during a concert in Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm not going to show footage of it, but he told TMZ, I didn't get a chance to eat dinner or medicate myself, so I was even more anxious than normal. It was an early show I usually play at night, and I've had my dinner and I medicate and get right. Well, he also said that some man was heckling him off to the side of the stage and he thought he could have been the one that was behind him. Afroman was then arrested and charged with misdemeanor simple assault. He paid $330 cash to bond out of jail, likely didn't serve more than a few hours, and I don't know. None of this dictates his political ideology, and not even when you keep in mind what I just told you and pair it with this quote of his from Newsweek that he gave when talking about Hunter Biden some 10-ish years later. Some people are above the law while regular people have to obey it. Okay, so thus far, I still don't have concrete evidence that Afroman is indeed MAGA. So I'm gonna give you 3 examples of content creators who have been exposed since January 20th, 2025. And this will not include the J6ers who were pardoned yet later exposed themselves to minors.
Is what they're saying true? Are you MAGA? I never said I was. Well, if you're MAGA, I can't support you. I can't watch your skits anymore. Okay, I have a question. When you go to watch a movie, do you look up every actor and actress that plays in that movie before you watch it to see who they voted for?
Yes. Well, many an actor has gotten Sydney Sweeney'd from me the last few years. It's a verb that from the left means, I'm not gonna watch your movies out of spite, even though you haven't made your politics clear, which is her telling on herself in itself. And from the right, it means they will ogle your goods, but not when you show them willingly and proudly, and not when you're not all done up, but also won't go see your movies. I won't see movies starring Mel Gibson, Jim Caviezel, or Zachary Levi either. And that also goes for if Rob Schneider, Kevin Sorbo, or Dean Cain ever got acting jobs again. With that said, moving forward, if I happen to be watching something on the internet and say a content creator turns off her comments and refuses to say that she isn't MAGA, like Michelle the bartender did, then my spicy senses will be tingling. Evidently, the silent majority thinks the whole "I don't agree with everything he says or believes" thing gives them a pass.
All right, this is the only time I'm ever going to address this. First of all, I am not MAGA. I was not at a MAGA rally. I went to a memorial for Charlie Kirk, a man who was brutally assassinated in front of thousands of people, a man who has a wife and children who will never get to see him again, and despite our differing beliefs, a man who did not deserve to die. I don't agree with a lot of what Charlie believed. Do I think that means he should be shot and killed? No. And if you disagree with that, we truly have nothing in common.
Hannah Brown, comedian who makes skits about Karens and being a waitress, throwing a wrench into my idea about simply refusing to say you're not MAGA. And she could very well be a classic, traditional Republican like Barack Obama. Another creator caught her in the front row at Charlie Kirk's memorial and posted a picture of it. That's what she was responding to. Hannah made her take about being against gun violence and those who celebrate it when, honestly, to be Charlie Kirk became a verb in internet brain rot. Hannah will go on to call Charlie a human who died and claim that he just wanted to speak. But what even got the people who viewed her as their GOAT was, there's no way she has been or will go to funerals or memorials for others who have been shot and killed, even those killed by the state, even if it was on camera and others cheered for it, even if they had families. Therefore, what's the difference? In their opinion.
It's no secret that many of you are demanding that I speak out about what happened in Minneapolis to Alex Pretty. So here's my opinion. My opinion is that you don't want my opinion. You don't want any creator on here's opinion. You want to watch the first 8 to 10 seconds of our video and then decide if we are your enemy or not. You want to place us in a box because that's how you think. You want to put us on one side or the other.
I will give him credit. Michael from Higher Up Wellness recognizes that there are people who just want to put him in a box or place him on a side. That's true. Just like he knows that not choosing a side is choosing a side. It's biblical. For there is no partiality with God. Furthermore, he that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. Besides, he has to acknowledge that there are those that definitely want his opinion. They even pay for it. Join my inner circle on School for $149 a month and get access to my training app, 12-week workout plans, live coaching calls, and a community of others looking to take their health to the next level. Does that not include this coffee review video he made the other day? He said he wants to lean on his expertise. Cool. We need more of that. Well, is he a coffee expert? Is he an expert in language and grammar and syntax? Would he even have to be an expert to say that the state shouldn't be killing unarmed men and women? Michael is a motivational speaker who could make it a point to tell his audience to pay attention to policies that are impacting their lives for the sake of wellness. Has he not wondered why tech billionaires allowed Kirk's gruesome murder to be displayed all over their social media and not others? It isn't easy, but it is simple. Let him say something like, the 2020 election wasn't stolen. There's no proof. Oof. But he's aware of the fact that he'll lose followers and subscribers either way. So best to just avoid it. Speaking of, and going back to what and who this video is about, Afroman has said, I might refuse to concede the presidency. You never know. The election might get stolen, man. You gotta watch them all the time. I don't believe it was, but who knows? The minute you think you know something, you don't. Yeah, he'll walk you directly to the line without crossing over into a specific side. He does that.
I had a little medicine before the show. Make sure I'm being on point.
The original question was, do you support Donald Trump?
Right now, I never liked his anti-blackness. I shook his, whatever. I took a picture. Like I said, I'm a player, but I'm all about getting money. So
did you vote for him?
No. The reason why I didn't vote for him is because, I should be a Republican because I make money. I make big money.
I know some rich ass Democrats.
But listen to me. He wanted to give police officers 100% immunity. That was my deal breaker with him.
That was the deal breaker with him? So Afroman is an opportunistic grifter whose major belief system is making money. Seems like a MAGA man to me, but nah. Joseph Foreman is not MAGA. If he could get a check from Trump in order to perform at his rallies, he would take it. And he would temporarily forget about all that anti-blackness. Just like Nelly, just like Snoop. Afroman runs on green, money and weed. It's a battery pack for him. If he could place it on his back and be operated by it, he would, like a toy bunny. I don't know. Yes, you can spot MAGA by red hats, Confederate flags, pointed hoods, Nazi symbols and salutes, the term patriot, and so on. However, there's a large subset of evangelical Christians who use empty biblical-ish platitudes, don't openly talk about social issues or ills of the world, but will dabble in the culture war, won't boycott or strike for anything at any point. The point is,
now anytime I'm interacting with someone who pretty much just interacts with other left-leaning people, and they'll say something like, oh my God, today I found out somebody that I knew was a Trump supporter, and I was so surprised because they seemed so normal. I'm always like, that's most of them. Sorry, I know it sucks, but you really do not have the conservative radar you think you do.
I find it amazing how I know so many people who voted for Obama, Biden, and Kamala Harris, yet none of those same people are their supporters. Also, how folks who believe in better access to livable wages, housing, education, healthcare, and no more wars don't hide their politics in, for example, their dating profiles. Post-Trump President America knows what apolitical, not really into politics, and moderate means. And by the way, what are these people in the center or middle of? I'll acknowledge that we could have spent this time discussing civil asset forfeiture due to Afroman's claims that sheriffs stole $400 from him and kept it. Plus, someone can just falsely accuse you of committing a crime and law enforcement will not only investigate it, but wreck your stuff in the process. And evidently, the police don't have to pay for it. Additionally, though, one of the lasting images that I will have of Afroman and this trial is the tear he shed when the judge read his verdict. And for the sake of this episode and what we do here on this channel, the case tested the limits of parody and the license artists can take in social commentary directed at public figures. This applies to all of us. Thank you, Afroman. We're gonna be all right.